Good morning. It's Thursday, June 26th, 2025, 9:06 a.m. Coming to you from Middle Georgia. Um, I had my alarm set for 6:45 this morning, but in the middle of the night I had to shut it off because about, I don't know, 11 or 11:30 last night, I thought, what is going on outside? Because through the window, even though I have my blinds all shut, there were these huge flashes. And I thought, gosh, maybe something happened to the street lights out there or something. Well, it was lightning. That's kind of lightning people call heat lightning, but heat lightning is lightning, okay? It's just that the storm is happening so far away that you can't hear the thunder, but you can see the light. So anyhow, it went on for probably 2.5, 3 hours. And, eventually there was thunder and there was rain as the storm moved in closer. But, oh my gosh, it was so spectacular. I got up and actually I took some videos of it. It was just really, oh my goodness. It was exciting and fun. I sat in the living room with the lights out and outside of, I mean, there would be flashes like sometimes every second or faster than 1 second. Unfortunately, I didn't see any, strikes of lightning, but it's because I think it was so overcast you couldn't see them, but the sky kept lighting up. I need some coffee. All right, so let me take a little drink here. Oh my goodness, before I make my coffee, I have a little tea. All righty, I'm getting too excited. Well, anyhow, so I slept until probably 8:30 this morning to make up for the 3 or more hours of sleep that I missed last night. Consequently, I'm here so late with you this morning. So, Ari, I don't know how to pronounce the name, but you can correct me, please, if I've got it wrong, reminded me that what I had said I would do a couple of days ago that I couldn't remember yesterday, I'm supposed to take some milk and froth it with some skinny syrup. So I discovered, I was so surprised yesterday, I used some eggnog syrup in a second cup of coffee that I had, and normally I love that, but I just wasn't in the mood for it. I wanted something more caramelly, so I've got this chestnut praline syrup that I got maybe last holiday season, and what I said I would do is froth the milk with it. So let me tell you what, when you use regular cow's milk in your milk frother, you have got to wash it really well, because that milk protein, when it's heated up, will stick to the bottom and the sides. And you know how sometimes you can use your fingers and sort of swoosh around, it'll take everything off of something. No, you need to use a brush or a cloth to really clean your milk frother. And so did I get everything real clean? Yeah, I cleaned all the parts of it. And of course, when you're doing it, be careful that you don't have any large openings in your sink. Like, don't do it over the disposal. Make sure the little drain pluggy thing is sitting in the sink, the basket, whatever it's called, because this all could fall down the drain. And then what are you going to do, right? And especially if you have, I don't know, well, you can lose it. All right, so I'm going to put it in, and I'm going to put in, well, let me put the milk in first, okay? I am going to make 2 capsules this morning. One of the old pumpkin spice cake, which I hope they'll bring out again in the fall. It's my last capsule. And then a Lavazza capsule. This is, I think, a Classico, maybe. Yeah, Espresso Classico. So I'm going to make the pumpkin spice cake as a lungo. You can make it as a lungo or espresso. And the Lavazza is an espresso. So I'm going to pour the milk in here. Oh, there's not that much left. And this, let's see, this almost reaches the minimum, okay, the lower line in my milk frother. Let me see if I can show this to you, okay? Okay, so this is the upper line that you want to use if you're just heating milk or making a cold froth. And then see that one down there? That's the lower one. That's where you fill it up to if you want to froth, have a hot froth. Did that make sense? Anyway, if you fill it up to that top line, you'll soon find out that it wasn't a good idea because it will start pouring out. Okay, now then, I put in a little bit of this. How much? Okay, and okay, here's the lid. Okay, up, and the brown fault circuit interrupter. Let me push this thing back in. All right. And the reason I'm doing this is to not just have the coffee a little bit sweetened and flavored, but the froth too. So I'm going to put a little more effort into getting some transparent glasses. You know what? Wait a minute. I think, yes. Okay, here we go. It's big. It's a 16-ounce Nespresso recipe glass, but it's see-through, so we'll use this, okay? And what I'm going to do while this is, I am not going to take my eyes off this. I have found by long experience that as soon as I take my eyes off something, it's falling over or it's overflowing or I don't know what, but okay. I'm keeping my finger here in case, well, I should keep my finger here in case it starts to, all right, it's done. Okay, and of course with cow's milk, we have a lovely froth here. Okay, so now I will put in the pumpkin spice cake first. Oh, goodness. Reset the thing here. There we go. All right. And I'll run that first. It's a lungo. Now, what I'm depending on is that the Lavazza, which is pretty strong, will help bolster up the coffee flavor, some of which is being diluted by running this pumpkin spice cake as a lungo. Of course, it would be much stronger as an espresso. Okay, here we go. Okay, we're done. Let it finish dripping. Okay, now I'll pop in the Lavazza capsule. And this is an espresso. An espresso. Not a Nespresso espresso, it's a Lavazza espresso. Okay. All right, so, people who drink big cups of coffee may look at this and say, that's not a whole lot of coffee there, but you know what? It packs the flavor of a whole lot of coffee. Okay. We'll get a nice iced teaspoon. Let me get a paper towel. Some of these mornings I've actually been prepared with spoons and napkins or paper towels or stuff like that. So, okay. We'll spoon some of that beautiful froth on top. Now, I would like to know, for those of you who use plant milk. Have you found a plant milk that froths as beautifully as this? Now, I know that there are plant milks that have like bunches of fat and carbs in them that have almost as many calories as a cup of cow's milk. The thing about cow's milk is that even when you remove the fat, you still get a good froth because of all that protein. Okay, that's cool, isn't it? Okay, a little bit of froth still on there. Alrighty. Oh, yes. That froth is yummy. And now we pour in the milk. Okay. It's a good thing I got this big glass, right? Because it would have been way too much for this little thing. This is like twice what's in here. Of course, I just probably would have put less froth and less milk in. Okay, so we'll give it a stir. Oh my. You know what? It really has a caramelly kind of flavor. And I love chestnuts, and I can taste a little bit of the chestnut. Ooh. Interestingly, you know, I'm glad that I sweetened the froth because the liquid part is not very sweet, but the froth is. So what I'm doing, you know, normally I'd kind of, to get the liquid to come into my mouth instead of getting just a mouthful of froth. Of course, when you have a very floaty, light froth like this, you're not going to have as much of a chance of it all running into your mouth like when you have a finer, more liquidy froth. But, or more, I should say more fluid froth. Anyhow, oh, this is great. So it's kind of like I've got the more stronger coffee flavor here, which I feel like I can detect those spices from the pumpkin spice cake. And then I've got a nice sweet froth on top. Ooh, this is yummy. So I see Jim is joining us this morning. I can't see the other names, but welcome. And you know what? I'm about ready to sign off here. This is really good. I'm gonna sit and enjoy this. Now I really wish I had a piece of pastry, but nope. Okay. Not this morning. The cupboard is bare. At least it's bare of pastries. Okay. I hope you have a wonderful day. And, you know, if you have a milk frother, give it a try adding some syrup to the milk that you're frothing, or some sweetener, or, you know, some extract, whatever, to flavor the froth as well as the coffee. I'll talk to you later.